Welcome everyone, this is Hrishikesh Pillai and we are going to learn to make some presentations that stand out. So before we start, let's just choose the tool that we are going to use to make our presentation. There are a variety of tools available. There's Microsoft PowerPoint, there's Apple Keynote, there's Google Slides as well as open source LibreOffice Impress. So out of this, we are going to use the Microsoft PowerPoint, which is the most popular tool available out there right now. So before we start, let's just look at some of the key points that we must consider before we are trying to build our presentations. Try to keep it simple with lesser amount of text and try to maintain a consistency throughout the presentation in terms of how you present it as well as the design of the presentation. And also try to start with an outline so that the audience know what exactly are we going to cover in that particular presentation. So without wasting any time, let's just get right into Microsoft PowerPoint. So this is Microsoft PowerPoint and we have the first slide right here. We have the title section as well as the subtitle section. Now before we do anything to this particular slide, we'll just change the aspect ratio of this slide to 16:9. So go to design, go to page setup and change the aspect ratio to 16:9. So what that will do is it makes the slide a bit more wider so that it looks much better than the box shape that it used to be. Now this particular slide is a bit plain and we can add some built-in templates to this particular slide. For that, just again go to design and we have these many templates that are available that are built in, and if you click on any one of them, all the slides will change to that particular template. Now, personally, I don't like these ones, so what we'll do is we'll make one particular template right now. So just go to the default theme, that is a white one. Now we're going to insert a shape into this particular slide. For that, go to insert, click on this drop down menu on shapes. I'll just add a rounded rectangle. Just drag that shape onto this particular slide. Now the radius of the corners of this rectangle is a bit too high. So what I'll do is I'll just click on this pointer and just drag out to reduce the radius of the corners. Now we have a pretty nice rounded rectangle. Now we will just modify this rounded rectangle shape. Just double click on the shape and I'll just remove the outline that it has. Just go to the shape outline and remove outline. And we'll just change the color. For that, go to shape fill and you can change the color maybe to this particular blue. Now when we did that, the text box that was in the slide went behind this particular rectangle shape. So to bring that to the front, just click on this shape, right click on it and click on send to back. Now that brings the text box which was behind this rectangle shape to the front of it. I'll just type title for the presentation and be making presentations that stand out. And we'll just add the subtitle, which is usually your name. So I'll add my name. Now I'll just change the color of this text. So for that, just go to home, select this text and just can change the color to whichever color you want. I'll just change to white. Also change the color of my name to white as well. Now you can change the alignment of this text. You can now it's center aligned, as you can see here. You can left align or right align or justify the content. So I'll just left align. Maybe you can make this bold as well, so we can have bold or italicized or underline. We can do many things with the text. So I'll just make it bold and maybe we'll increase the font size as well to 48. Now you can position the text anywhere you want according to the template. For this template, I would like the text to be on the right hand side. So place a mouse pointer on this dotted line and just move the text to the right hand side. I'll just move this text as well so that it is in alignment with the about text. It's almost. Now this looks a bit simple, so we will just add a few design elements to this slide. So for that, go to insert. We'll again add some shape. This time I will add a rectangle. I'll make it into a line with 2 or 3 pixels of width, and I will just design it again as I did for this bigger rectangle. So just double click on that. I will again remove this outline and I will add a shape fill of white. I want one more of these lines to go beneath the text as well. So I just Control C and Control V to copy and paste that particular shape, or you can just click on it and double right click and copy and paste the shape as well. So I'll place that in the bottom here. Now on the left hand side it feels a bit empty, so I'll add a few cubes there just as a design element. So go to Insert, again Shapes, we'll add a few cubes. This is a rectangle tool, and if you need to have a square, just click on Shift and it will turn rectangle into a square. I will format this. I'll change the outline to no outline and the shape fill to white. Now I need 2 more of this. I'll just click on that, Control C and Control V. It will give me a copy of that. Now if we want to zoom into this position to make the alignment perfect, we have a slider at the bottom right hand side which helps us to zoom in and zoom out. So I'll just zoom in and we will just go to the top and just position these according to my wish. I'll copy and paste one more. I'll have it right here. Now this looks a bit more nicer than before. Now this is our first slide. Now to go to the next slide, you can do that in a couple of ways. You can click on this new slide. You can choose the layout that you want, or you can just go Control and M on your keyboard and it will give you a new slide. Now the default layout of this slide is going to be this one. If you want to change it, you can go to the layout and change the layout of your choice. Now to maintain consistency with the slides, we will go with the template that we made earlier. So I'll just copy and paste that rectangle onto the next slide as well, and just click on this, right click, send to back, and it will bring in the text box on top of this rectangle shape. Now we are going to have an outline of the presentation that we are going to make. So I don't like this particular layout for this, so I want the title to be on the right hand side and the content on the left hand side. Now you can resize this particular text box by clicking here and just dragging it, and I'll position this according to my wish. If I don't have a standard template, I'll make it here and I will bring this one down to this side. This is your choice. You can make your template as per your wish. So for this presentation, I'm going to have something like this. So we will just give the title, which is outline, and again I will change the text color to white. Select the text, go to this text color and change it to white. I'll make it bolder as I did earlier. Now we can add the outline. So this presentation, we already made the title and we are going to learn how to make a table. We are going to insert an image. We are going to learn to insert movies and audios, and we are also going to learn how we can insert animations on our slides. Now I don't need this much big of a text for this content, so I will just reduce the font size by going to this drop down menu and just change it to maybe 20. We have these bullet points as default, so how you can change is just go to this particular section and just change it to whichever design you want. For this I don't want any bullet points, so I'll just click on the none. Now I'll again resize this and bring it to the center of the presentation, and I will change the color of this content white as we did earlier. Again this looks pretty blank, so I'll just again copy and paste these 2 rectangle shapes to the next slide as well. So just paste that to this slide, and we will just extend the length of this a bit so that it looks a bit more cleaner. And I will just reposition this to the right. We have the outline of the presentation with us. Now we want a new slide, just click on Ctrl and M on your keyboard. It will give you a new slide, and we want to maintain the consistency. So we'll copy this shape and again paste it here, and we do the same thing, just bring the text box to the front. Now in this we are going to learn how to make tables. So we will give the title as tables, and we'll just change the color to white. Now I want this text to be left aligned, so I will select on the text and left align it. Now we'll insert a table in this slide. So how can we do that? We can either do it by clicking on this insert table option on the main content text box, or we can go to insert, just go to the table drop down, and we can select the number of rows and columns that we want for our table, and it will give us the table. Now we have the table and we can customize it using the standard templates that are available. We can select any one of these templates and it will customize it as per our need. I'll go with this one. We can reposition this by clicking on the corner using the mouse pointer and then moving it around. We can resize it as well as we did earlier with the shape tools. I'll just position this to the center of the slide. Again, go to a new slide, Control M on your keyboard, copy and paste this rectangle and just send to back. Now this is our default template, and doing this again and again will be a bit tedious. What we can do is we can click on this slide, right click and click on duplicate slide, so it will make this slide as a standard template, so we can use this for later purpose. And then the next section on the outline was to insert an image, so we will give that as the title. Title is going to be insert images. Again I will left align and change the color to white. Now how you can insert image? Again, you can go to this icon right here to insert picture from a file, or you can go to insert, click on picture. It will open up this dialog box and you can select the image that you want. You can do many things with this image. When you double click on this image, you will get this format option right here. You can add different frames to your image. You can add borders, you can add picture effects. You can change the shape of this image. You can align it, rotate it. I'll just change the border to this one, and you can position this image by just clicking on the image and moving the cursor and moving the mouse to wherever you want to position it. And you can resize it as well as we did for the rectangle tool, and we can position it as per our needs. And in the next slide we will again duplicate this slide, so we have a standard template available with us. And the next third part we are going to do is we are going to insert movies and audios. So we will just give the title inserting movies and audios, and again the same drill. We'll just left align it and just change the color to white. Now how you can insert movies and audios? You can either do it by clicking on this icon, insert media clip, or you can go to insert and click on this movie drop down and then click on movie from file. And if you want a sound or an audio, you can click on this drop down and add a sound from file. Now finally we'll be adding a thank you slide. So we'll just change the layout of this particular slide. I'll just delete this particular text box. Just click on this dotted line and click on delete on your keyboard. I will just type in thank you, and I will again change the color, turn to bold, and I will position it to the center of this particular slide. So we are done our presentation right now, and we will learn. So we have done our presentations right now, and we will learn finally how we can do some animations to a PowerPoint presentation. So going to this slide, suppose if I want each one of these to come one by one, how can I animate these text? So select the text that you want to animate, click on animations and click on the custom animation, and we have an add effect drop down here, and you can add any effects that you want. I'll just click on fade, so that will fade in the text table. So we can add that to each and every text the same way I did for the first one. So select on that, click on add effect, we'll just add a fade in animation. So you can just play around with these animations. We have different effects right here, and we can give different effects to text and shapes that we put on our slide. Now we will try to animate an image that you have placed earlier. So again, same thing, select the image, click on add effects and entrance, because something else just fly in. So it will just come from the bottom to the center of the slide. So you can change the speed of this animation if you want. You can slow it down or speed it up. Now it's on very fast, so I'll just give the speed as medium, so it will come slowly. And you can select the direction from where it should pop up to the particular slide. You can give it either from left, right, top, as per your wish. And this animation happens on click, which means when you're on the presentation mode, animation will only happen when you press the enter key on your keyboard. Let's just see our final presentation in the presentation mode. How can you do that? Just go to the slideshow right here and click on from beginning. So we will be in the presentation mode. To exit this presentation mode, you can just click escape key on your keyboard, and you can go to the presentation mode another way as well. That is, click on this icon on the right hand side of your window, and it will bring the presentation on presentation mode. You can change the slide either by using the arrow keys or the enter. You can see that when I click enter on my keyboard, the text is animated as we wanted it to be. And that's how you make a presentation on Microsoft PowerPoint. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for your time. So till the next time we meet, this is Hrishikesh Pillai signing off.